What's up, Shellheads? A criminal amount of people think Donnie is just the tech nerd of the team when he is so much more than that. And like his brothers, most of what we would come to know as key components of Donnie's character are born here in the pages of Mirage Comics. Mirage paints Donnie as the most contemplative of the four turtles. He would rather fix a broken machine or solve a puzzle than he would spar. He embraces modern technology, often tinkering with computers and engineering contraptions while his brothers train. His focus is on intellect, and it makes him the odd one out of the Hamado family. Yet it also positions him as their problem solver, as well as a moral compass for the team. See, he seeks nonviolent solutions whenever possible, and only reluctantly resorts to force. Donatello's first solo adventure underscores both his curiosity and his compassion in his 1986 micro series, Kirby and the Warp Crystal. He descends into April O'Neil's basement to fix a broken water heater and meets Kirby, an eccentric artist who ties a crystal to his pencil. Whatever he draws briefly springs to life. Don witnesses a winged creature vanish into a wall and, intrigued, joins Kirby as he uses the crystal to open a gateway to another dimension. They step into a fantasy realm where Kirby's monster drawings are attacking his heroic sketches. Don leaps into battle while Kirby sketches the solutions. Kirby draws a high-tech gravitic equalizer gauntlet, allowing Don to zap the monsters and send them floating skyward. When the batteries die, Kirby sketches a giant mobile creep trapper mech that swallows monsters, then quickly adds chains and handcuffs to his monster drawings. These appear on the creatures, subduing them. With the day saved, Kirby stays behind in his imagination world while Don returns to the basement. A paper airplane bearing Kirby's drawing of Don and the gauntlet flutters through the portal, and on it is scrolled a message. Life, at best, is bittersweet. Take care of yourself. The story highlights Don's willingness to trust strangers, his creative problem solving, the bittersweet reality that even wondrous adventures end, and a wink and a nod to one of the voices that is credited to be a key influence on Eastman and Laird, Jack Kirby. Following Shredder's defeat, the Turtles hide in Northampton, and Donnie uses the rural downtime to tinker and to reflect. While his brothers wrestle with boredom and trauma, Don repairs the farmhouse's boiler, the windmill, and the water wheel. He even writes a personal credo on an old typewriter, articulating his philosophy of valuing life and intelligence. These quiet moments reveal his urge to make sense of the world, both through machinery and through words. In the two-part story, Shades of Grey, Donnie reveals his intellectual side when Casey Jones finds him perched on a tree over a ravine, studying the fractal structure of natural patterns, essentially an element of chaos theory. Don excitedly explains the concept, but the hungover Casey accuses him of using big words and acting superior. See, Casey wasn't in a great place at this point. The exchange escalates until Casey lashes out. Donnie reluctantly wields his bow staff and sends Casey tumbling into the water below. The scene is striking because Donnie here is defending himself, not out of anger, but to stop his friend's self-destructive spiral. It illustrates his patience, his fascination with science, and the rare moments when he has to forcibly draw boundaries. In the wonderful City at War saga, he's pushed into grim territory. During a raid on a skyscraper, he falls through a weakened floor and breaks his leg. Unable to fight, Donnie picks up a machine gun to protect Karai from Shredder's elite guard, an act that shakes his pacifist sensibilities to their core. After the war, he remains in Northampton with Splinter to heal and to reflect on violence. These events underscore his discomfort with lethal force and his need for introspection after traumatic battles. In TMNT Volume 2, Donnie's spiritual connection to Splinter deepens. While meditating, he has a vision of burying Splinter in Japan, which haunts him. Later, he returns to New York with the masked vigilante Nobody to help thwart Baxter Stockman's schemes. These show Donnie balancing his aversion to violence with a sense of duty as he continues to fight threats even as he dreads what the future may hold. Volume 4 propels Donnie into the strangest arc of his Mirage journey. Early in the volume, he and Raph discover an armored truck and begin refurbishing it with Casey. When Splinter dies, Donnie performs a final act for his father, cutting an object from Splinter's body, a ritual unspecified in detail. Soon after, he joins the Utroms, the alien creators of the Ooze, on a mission. During an encounter with a wooden golem-like creature, the Utroms and Donnie are magically shrunk to action figure size. The process proves irreversible, leaving Donnie at a fraction of his normal height. To remain effective, he designs and inhabits a robotic turtle exoskeleton. This allows him to fight at full power despite his small stature. Donnie infiltrates a terrorist warehouse with his new body, turning his technological prowess into a literal survival mechanism. This bizarre transformation embodies Donnie's adaptability. He refuses to let physical limitations prevent him from contributing. At the same time, it underscores the cost of endless conflict as he becomes more machine than mutant to continue to fight. Across Mirage, Donatello's narrative explores the tension between intellect and violence. He is the turtle most interested in science and art, crafting a personal credo, studying fractals, writing fiction, and inventing gadgets. His micro-series adventure with Kirby shows his delight in imagination and his preference for non-lethal technology. Even when forced to wield a machine gun in City at War, he is shaken by the act. In later volumes, he confronts the fragility of life, envisioning Splinter's funeral, losing his own physical form, and literally climbing inside a robot to keep fighting. Through these experiences, Donatello remains the most introspective and morally anchored turtle. He evolves from a shy mechanic into a wounded veteran and ultimately a cyborg hero. Yet he never abandons his core belief that life and knowledge have to be protected, even when the world demands violence. All right, that's it. That's all. That's a wrap. We'll be back with our next character profile. But until next time, Cowabunga Shellheads.